This is Art Television.
Coming up, State of Business, sponsored by
UHD quality video streaming, internet like a boss, SLT Mobitel Fiber.
IWS Aviation.
A very good evening and a warm welcome to State of Business on Art Television. I'm Ashine Ali and let's have a look at the headlines first. Government says merchandise exports have increased by 9.91%. Tourism Minister announces that Sri Lanka-Russia flights will resume soon. News in detail. Merchandise exports have increased by 9.91% compared to February last year and by 5.8% compared to the same month in 2020. As per data released by Sri Lanka Customs, the value of merchandise exports last month is $1,046 million. Export Development Board Chairman Suresh Dimel said that Sri Lanka's merchandise exports maintained the above $1 billion mark continuously from the beginning of this year. He also said that this was also the 9th consecutive month of having a revenue of over $1 billion. For the period of January to February 2022, merchandise exports increased by 11.66% to $2,108 million compared to the corresponding period of 2021. Apparel and textile exports increased by 19.96% to almost $1,010 million during the period of January to February 2022 compared to the same period of 2021. Meanwhile, export of apparel and woven fabrics expanded by 17.88% and 40.9%. But exports of made-up textile articles and yarn and other textile articles were down by 14.87 points and 9.63% respectively. Export earnings from tea decreased by 10.04% to almost $193 million during the period of January to February 2022 compared with the corresponding period of 2021. Export earnings from rubber and rubber finished products increased by 7.41% to $180 million in January-February 2022 compared with the same period of 2021 attributed to high exports of pneumatic and reiterated rubber ties and tubes. Export earnings from coconut and coconut-based products expanded by 18.87% to $136 million from the same period last year. Meanwhile, earnings from export of electrical and electronic components also increased by 14.78%. Export earnings from seafood increased by 46.17%. Tourism Minister Prasanna Ranatunga said that operations by Lankan Airlines between Sri Lanka and Moscow by Russia will resume soon. Issuing a statement to the media this morning, Minister Ranatunga said that operations have been suspended because of an insurance cover issue and not due to a policy decision. Sri Lankan Airlines on Monday announced that the operations between Sri Lanka and Moscow were suspended due to the operational restrictions that were outside the airline's control. Tourism Minister Prasanna Ranatunga said that discussions were underway to implement an alternative insurance scheme to resume operations. Minister Ranatunga added that the suspension came after British Airlines, which has insured the aircraft of Sri Lankan Airlines, decided to cancel Sri Lankan aircraft insurance flying to Russia. The minister said the decision to suspend the operations was not taken by the government of Sri Lanka and that the Sri Lankan Airlines had to face a situation due to an incident out of its control. Sri Lankan Airlines launched direct flights between Sri Lanka and Russia on the 31st of July 2021. Accordingly, 2 flights a week were operated between Colombo and Moscow. Central Bank Governor Ajit Nivard Cabral yesterday sought foreign portfolio and direct investments from the UK at the 4th Sri Lanka Invest Forum at the London Stock Exchange. He presented this opportunity to fund managers and investors who attended forum organised by the CSE and the SEC in partnership with Sri Lanka High Commission in the UK. Accepting that while Sri Lanka faces financial challenges, the CBSL governor, virtually addressing the forum, said that it is an opportunity to reset the nation's economy. The governor stressed that the current financial volatilities are temporary and that the tightening of the monetary policy, greater flexibility in the exchange rate and allowing market-driven pricing, along with International Monetary Fund Corporation, will bring about stability. The CBSL has also notified the public that under the Foreign Exchange Act No. 12 of 2017, money chargers have been prohibited from offering higher exchange rates than those offered to them by licensed banks. Governor Cabral communicated that the central bank views the high exchange rate as an overshoot and expects the rupee to stabilize shortly, leaving Sri Lanka primed for investments. Cabral also said ongoing measures will boost foreign inflows as the nation's fundamentals are strong, with development projects focusing on the port city, Hambantota Port and other infrastructure development. Sri Lanka High Commissioner Saroja Sirisena, pointing to the nation's resilience amidst the global economic downturn, called on investors to have faith while highlighting Sri Lanka's geopolitical advantages of being strategically located and peaceful. The High Commissioner recalled the successful 2018 forum, which generated the largest foreign direct invest for Sri Lanka via the London Stock Exchange Group, and hoped that the latest forum will further boost Sri Lanka-UK ties. The forum was one of the 3 engagements this week by Sri Lanka's capital market industry and listed companies to garner more foreign portfolio and direct investments based on better future prospects, and it saw close to 40 London-based fund managers and investors. Additionally, the delegation through the Sri Lanka High Commission will also seek investments from the UK, diaspora and business based in Britain. Stay tuned for more news right after this commercial break.
Defying gravity doesn't define an athlete. It's the connection, a rhythm of consistency, the heart rate that makes life a sport.
With decades of precision comes a partnership between man and technology. Stay well connected at home or on the go with SLT Mobitel.
Everyone does not hold a key to your heart, and it's no secret. You genuinely trusted us with a special place in your heart as we brought good fortune and prosperity into your lives. During our journey of over 50 years, we have made your lives happier and prosperous. Our desire is to see you flourish and witness the prosperity of the entire nation. National Lotteries Board is dedicated to accomplish this humble mission.
NLB, live your dreams.
Welcome back after the break. Indian External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar concluded his first day of discussions during his visit to Sri Lanka yesterday. Foreign Minister Jaishankar is accompanied by a 5-member official delegation from the Ministry of External Affairs, New Delhi, for bilateral and BIMSTEC engagements. The Indian Foreign Minister called on President Gotabaya Rajapaksa and conveyed personal greetings from Prime Minister Narendra Modi. President Rajapaksa of Sri Lanka thanked the government of India for the $2.5 billion economic assistance extended to Sri Lanka in 2022, and Foreign Minister Jaishankar assured India's continued support towards Sri Lanka's economic recovery. The discussions also covered the recent government TNA talks, defence and energy cooperation and fishermen's issues. It was agreed to deepen economic and commercial links with special emphasis on Indian investment. While with Prime Minister Rajapaksa at the Temple Trees, the Indian Foreign Minister engaged in the virtual launch of Jaffna Cultural Centre and a tour of the Jaffna Artificial Limb Fitment Camp supported by India. Foreign Minister Jaishankar met Finance Minister Rajapaksa in the morning, who stressed the significance of deeper economic engagement. The government, having sought an additional credit line of $1.5 billion from India to import essentials, according to Central Bank Governor Ajit Niwad Cabral, and India was indicated it would meet the request for the new line. The Indian minister reiterated that India's partnership with Sri Lanka is rooted in the neighbourhood, first approach and the doctrine of security and growth for all in the region, and has firmly stood by Sri Lanka. Sri Lanka's Foreign Minister Professor J.L. Pires held talks with Indian counterpart in the evening. They covered the entire gamut of bilateral engagement. Attesting to the comprehensive nature of bilateral ties, they also witnessed the signing of bilateral MOUs in diverse areas. Indian Foreign Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar also attended the BIMSTEC ministerial meeting held this morning at the BMICH. Scheduled international regional flight operations resumed last Sunday from Colombo International Airport, Ratmalana. It was marked by the arrival of the Q2944-8 Maldivian flight from Belena International Airport, Maldives at 8:45 a.m. CIAR's new taxiway and overlaid apron will also open yesterday in the presence of Youth and Sports Minister Namal Rajpaksha and many others. Scheduled international flights from CIAR are recommencing after 5 decades, with flights to and from Maldives 3 times a week. According to AASL, flights will operate on Sunday, Tuesday and Thursday. While describing the development of international airports in the country, Youth and Sports Minister Namal Rajpaksha added that new visa schemes will be introduced, like the Paradise Visa for long-term travellers. State Minister D.V. Chanaka said that commencing flights from CIAR to Maldives will benefit Sri Lankans, tourists as well as the 14,000 Maldivians living in the surrounding areas to the airport, bring with it the potential of increasing the number of flights. State Minister Chanaka added that an invitation has also been extended to India to commence flights to Colombo International Airport, that discussions will be held in future. Maldivian Managing Director Mohammad Mihad said the number of flights will increase in coming months.
It was one of our wishes that we operate to Ratmalana instead of Bandaranaike Airport. But at that time, of course, things didn't work out, but I'm happy to see that now the dream has come true and Maldivian is operating here. I think that this definitely will be benefit a lot of, especially to the Maldivian community living here and the Maldivians who travel here for leisure and pleasure, I would say. Because most of the Maldivians live around this area, Dehiwala, Kalubhovila and Vellavat area. And most of the Sri Lankans who work in Maldives are probably from this area as well. And those who come here for leisure and medical, this will benefit because although our flight took a little bit more than the normal flight timing, yes, we flew about 35 minutes extra than the normal Colombo flight. But if you look at the overall experience, you save on the transport time from Colombo to here. Plus, I think when you operate to a simple airport like this, the passenger process time will be less as well. So I look forward to fly here more often because I am quite a regular person in Colombo. So thank you, everybody, and I look forward to see Maldivian increase in, hopefully, to daily flights in the future. Thank you very much.
Hafla Sri Lanka recently celebrated 12 years of business in Sri Lanka with a networking event held at the Taj Samudra. In attendance were Hafla Sri Lankan's customers, which included dealers, furniture companies, architects, planners and builders. Over the last 90 years, the German family-owned operated company has grown from a local specialty store from joinery needs into a company with global operations. Now 37 subsidiaries and many additional dealerships belong to the Hafla Group. Management is currently in the hands of the family's third generation. The Hafla Group's business figures have continued to develop positively in recent years despite a challenging economic environment. In the 2012 financial year, the Hafla Group had revenue of over 1 billion euros, with exports accounting for 76% share. Hafla has 6,150 employees around the world and serves more than 160,000 customers. Hafla Sri Lanka, from humble beginnings, has grown into a titan in the local space as a provider of hardware and fitting systems, electronic locking systems, furniture and appliances. Today, the company also provides learning and design solutions. Speaking at the event, Hafla South Asia Managing Director Jürgen Wolf expressed the company's commitment to the nation's market. Stay tuned for stock updates.
UHD quality video streaming. Internet like a boss. SLT Mobitel Fiber.
Now, you can buy your ultra-fast fiber connection online through sltmobitel.lk and get special discounts.
But if she doesn't lay eggs, she'll have to go. Okay, all right. Your pet can stay.
UHD quality video streaming on Sri Lanka's first, fastest and widest premium fiber network. Internet like a boss. SLT Mobitel Fiber.
Trading at Colombo Stock Exchange ended on a negative note today. The All Share Price Index dropped 494.74 points to close at 9,647.55, and the S&P SL20 dropped 167.12 points to close at 3,338.03. The turnover was 2.7 billion rupees and over 265 million shares were traded. Up next are Forex rates. And that's all news for today. See you tomorrow at State of Business at the usual time. Until then, take care and good night.
State of Business was sponsored by
UHD quality video streaming. Internet like a boss. SLT Mobitel Fiber.
IW